friends and gamers. So this is starting with absolutely no music because I was doing dailies. God knows how long ago. I'm gonna get the Welcome Home Cheater event. I know I am. I was doing dailies and had on the second monitor, so like there's no music playing, so it's fine. You can't hear anything. I can't hear anything. We'll get that figured out right now. I don't even know what I put my master volume to usually. Is it 85, I think? Or is it 75? We'll go 75, sure. It's been a long time. I said this in the reaction content catch up. I did like 2 reverse. There's been a lot of reverse videos. I did one this morning too. I did the window shop this morning because that was easier than the patch videos. I was like, which one do we do first? The window shop. But I took a little bit of an extended break for the second half of 2.5 from reverse because I was having surgery. So I didn't log in, and then I knew I needed to do this patch video because this patch dropped before I came back technically. So yeah, it's patch time. Version 2.6, Folie et Derision, I think it was. I can't speak French. I apologize. I butchered that so bad, I know. But we're going to take a look at RECOLETA today, her kit, and some of the new stuff. We're just going to cycle through everything. This is the patch video. We're going to do it all. And before I forget, I need a picture of my UID because there's going to be another video after this for Reverse with the web event that's going on right now because I always forget my web events. So we'll get to that. Don't worry about it. But for today's little suitcase story, Charmaine gave August milk candies, which I think is adorable. That's really cute. My game is super laggy. Whoa, maybe it's just because I took forever to like do something about it. It is my game. Oh my God, it's Sweetheart's birthday. Oh my God, my poor game right now. What is going? It's also Ezra's birthday. That's my boy. God, it's 3 different birthdays today. That's what's happening here. And Loggerheads, it's Loggerhead's birthday. Happy birthday, everyone. June 1st really is a day for Reverse 1999, isn't it? No reason. Okay, so we have our login. I did the first day of the login. Great, we're off to a great start. Here is the version stuff. So there's special stuff you can do in the version. We also got a free 11 decibel levels for the battle pass. There's special stuff you can do in each version to get special rewards, and not all of it's available yet. So by doing stage 1, Editor of Genius, that is going to be part of RECOLETA's character story. So that's available already. So that's why that's there. You get a free little, is it Golden Fleece? Golden Fleece, yeah. Also, if you do her survey stage, you get special rewards, so we will be doing that in this video. But everything else that's not open yet, and it might just not be open to me because I am not caught up with the story. That is my next task after doing... I did a marathon recording, getting caught up with all these Endless Zone Zero Season 1 main story, and it went very well. So my next big marathon recording task is Steam Next Fest. Originally, it was going to be Reverse 1999, but Steam Next Fest Summer Game Fest happens very, very shortly, very soon. So like the day this goes up, by the time this goes up, because I'm backlogged, we might be in the thick of Summer Game Fest. So that has to happen next, especially because I already have access to certain demos and things. And then following that is going to be the Reverse 1999 marathon main story recording. So that's coming shortly. Don't worry about it. But I'm not caught up with the main story. So this probably is not open to me for that reason. In 17 days, you will be able to get a jar of candy for doing... I can't read, by the way. I said I was recovering from surgery. I still am, and I can't wear glasses yet. I do keep bringing this up, but it wasn't eye surgery. It was like on my face, and because of like the structural integrity of my face, I can't wear glasses. So I guess it'd be the lack of structural integrity right now. Like, there's not much. Answering Machine, Butterfly, and the Literary Critic. Okay, part 1 of that. That is... It says part 1, not stage 1. You know, though, was it Aleph? Alep's character story seemed weird when they were explaining it in the, like, how it's set up. It seemed like it might be weird because the part 1 of the Answering Machine, the Butterfly, and the Literary Critic, that hurt my face to say, is part of his character story, I believe. So that's interesting. It is Aleph. Aleph's survey stage also will get that reward, the chest there. Chapter 1 in the anecdote for, I believe it's Betty. That's available in 3 days. You get an apple. And then if you do 1 Battle of Main's Bulletin, which this one will be available by the time this video goes out, you get another jar of candies. So I probably won't do that because I don't touch endgame with a 10-foot pole. We'll get there though. That's the point of the marathon catch-up, is so we can do endgame. Wow, it's one of our new cards. It's the Melania card, the Magician. So I've said it so much. I love the tarot card arts. It's so beautiful. This is the paid tier reward for Roar Jukebox Battle Pass this patch. So if you have Melania, I might recommend doing it because I did that to get the Fencer Tenant outfit a couple patches ago, and honestly, kind of worth it. It was only like a couple bucks, I think, so kind of worth it. Now we get to go through all of this, and we're gonna do banner thoughts and all that jazz. So Obviously, we're starting with the pickup banner. A writer, nope. That's, why is it called this? Why is it called a writer written? So let's flip sides really quickly because the information is going to be on the side I'm on. All right, so we have RECOLETA's banner. She's 6-star mineral. We've been over this. We're going to go over her kit in a little bit, but the 5 stars on this banner are going to be X and Diggers. And this will be available until June 19th. That is the halfway point of the patch. So at that point, then we'll get Aleph, but June 19th. We also have the limited time banner, Yearning of the Water, is back with Willow and Lopera. They both have garments this patch, and they're beautiful. This banner goes until the 14th. So if I'm not loving RECOLETA's kit, we're going to switch over to this banner because I would love to get my hands on a copy of Willow because I was unable to during her original banner. I love Willow so much. So much. The videos haven't gone up yet because my reverse content is super backlogged already. However, I was so sick when Willow first released, but I sat and did her character story in full, despite the fact I literally could not speak. But there's 2 videos in the backlog of her character story, and I cried. I love Willow. Lopera's, I think I skipped Lopera's character story because I was deathly ill. Like, I was very sick. I should not have even done Willow's, but I skipped Lopera's because Willow I was like attached to. Anyways, because I believe they were in the same patch, right? Were Willow and no, Lopera was Angel Nala, and I ran out of time. That's what happened. I apologize, Lopera. I think I tried to speedrun her, so that video is also in the backlog. We also have Ripples in the Water making a comeback that is available already. It just opened, I think. And that will go until the 26th of June. So you have Charmaine, Medicine Pocket, Melania. I am blanking on your name. Voyager's here, though. Our new garments, the Labyrinth of Madness series. This one's for Willow, available till July 3rd, the end of the patch. We also have the Lopera one, also available until July 3rd. I love these outfits. I talked about them a lot in the content catch-up as well as the window shop for 2.6 because I am obsessed with the D&D style outfits. Roar Jukebox, that's the Melania outfit. We have new shop stuff. This is the Antarctic Elysium Wilderness set that I think is really cool. And then we have the preview stuff for Filet at Derzon. Even though I'm like 8 minutes into recording, before we go any further, before we get into all the patch stuff, which we're gonna speed run this as well, and because I forgot to say it earlier, while this video is not sponsored, I am a official creator with Reverse 1999 and will be compensated for this video. All opinions are still my own. Now we can move on. So we have a new main story update, chapter 9. You have to have finished Trici's Tropics to do this, obviously. I don't think it's available early, but that was also a contentious point earlier on as well. At the end of the Earth, on the brink of civilization, a panoramic prison exists beyond the bounds of reason, following a narrative incomprehensible to all. That is our good friend, the Panopticon. We hate them. I've talked about the concept of the Panopticon quite a bit within other games and stories, and the fact that, like, I'm so excited to get to this chapter just because I'm so excited to geek out about, like, philosophy and stuff. I'm so excited, which I'm happy I'm behind because you bet your ass in the next couple of weeks it takes me to do, like, Steam Next Fest content before I get to main story and get caught up to reverse main story, specifically this chapter. I will be doing the required reading. I'm looking forward to it because some of the stuff in like the inspiration for obviously Reverse 1999's Panopticon arc, I've already read, but there's other things that I've only read part of or like wanted to read. I have a list and I will be reading it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk before it's happened, but we will get to that. I'm very excited for it. Every resident, quote, here harbors dreams, and every visitor, also quoted, comes with their own purpose. Amid the chaotic madness of countless faces, they must peel back the truth layer by layer. I know I'm going to really enjoy this. I know I'm going to geek out. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be dark, but it's going to be fun. So it's going to be fun if you're like me and like dark, messed up stories from time to time. So the main event needs to complete the main story part 16. Okay, so in order to do the event stuff, you have to just send chapter 1, I guess. But that makes sense. So this will go until June 30th. It is not the whole duration of the patch. There is a couple of days where only the event shop is open. The event shop will be open the entirety of the patch till the 3rd of July, but other than that, the event itself is not. So the new main story in battles will be available during the event. I think it is an early unlock if you do it during this patch. I will not be doing it during this patch, but you can do an early unlock. And then there is rewards as per usual. We'll go through the actual event shop in a second. Reaction table is going to be the way you get points for the shop, like that's the achievements and stuff. And then the Behind Bars book club is the shop. So there's a new 6-star side cube. There is Unilogs. There is some of the Antarctic Elysium pieces as well. So there's quite a bit there. We have RECOLETA's character story. This will end on the 19th of June, which it is June now. So I can just say the 19th. This is ending on the 19th. It coincides with her banner. On the flip side then, Aleph's character story will start on the 19th, and there is no end date listed. Now, I don't know if that means, because it's not going to even show up until the 19th, so we can't even speculate here. I don't know if this means it's a permanent fixture, content fixture. It probably isn't, because this is how they explained, I keep forgetting Ulrich. This is how they explained Ulrich's character story back when that was a thing a couple patches ago. I never got to it because that was a condensed patch and I was doing a lot, but they just had a start date. So I'm assuming the end date for this is going to be July 3rd, the end of the patch. I don't know why they didn't list it though, because they did that. That's why I'm like, his was weird. His was quite weird. Dialogues Behind Bars is our sign-in event. Part 1 ends on the 19th, and then part 2 starts also on the 19th, like a minute apart. This ends at 4:59, and this one starts at 5. That's how this works. Between Rainy Seasons is up. This is the login thing that we just took a look at where I got the 11 levels in the battle pass, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, Roar Jukebox Decibel level. Yeah, that's what this is. Okay. Lucidscape is new endgame content, I believe. In order to do this, you have to have done however you say this. I can't read German either. But yeah, and it's endgame content. The point of the marathon catch-up with the story that I'll be doing shortly is to do the endgame content and be caught up enough so I can do events properly. I might still do the reverse events because I cannot be stopped. But that's endgame content. We also have the Somnambulism Evolved, which I think is, yes, this is, I believe, like a shop or like a reward system for Lucidscape. So those are like together. We have Series of Dusks update, Euphoria character enhancement system update for Medicine Pocket and Melania. We have Reveries in the Rain. This is again endgame. There's the schedule for that. Phototaxis is also endgame. And then we have the Betty anecdote that will go from the 5th to the 19th. So it's only available for like 2 weeks, I think, maybe even less, during the first half of the patch. So there will not be an anecdote during the second. Main's Bulletin starts on the 3rd and goes until the 3rd of July, so a whole month. And that is also endgame. So if you care about Main's Bulletin, this is opening, actually by the time this video goes up, will probably be open. Double analysis. We got double drops on Numa analysis again. Farewell, I forgot about this. Farewell Royashki is going to be rerun finally. And I believe this means after this, it will go in the like archive of events, because the event that was rerun last patch that I wasn't able to do because I was recovering from surgery, is also in the archive at this point. So we will get to that eventually, but just not right now. I would like to do Farewell Royashki, but also the fact that it's going to go in the archive probably. It's not like a huge priority because I will do it eventually, you know? This will open up on the 20th and end with the end of the patch on the 3rd, though. However, the event stages themselves are only open for 10 days, ending on the 30th. I say that, but afterwards, I believe you can use points to unlock the event and do it elsewhere. So there's that. The shop goes to the end of the patch, though. I would like to try and maybe start it, but if it comes between doing main story and this, I think I'm going to do main story instead, because this will come in its time. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Lab Snapshots is the shop for that then, because there's a little shop, I believe. We have banners then. We already went through that, which we'll go back to banners in a second. Recoletas will end on the 19th, though. We said that, and A-lifts will also start on the 19th and go until the 3rd. But we'll talk about A-lifts banner when we get to the second half of the patch. Ripples in the Water is going on right now. Yearning of the... I can't read. Why is... Yearning of the Water. Why is of right here? I never realized that. It was like stylized weird. Okay, so this has also started and is ongoing. We have Jukebox. We have Garment Shop. We have Antarctic Elysium. I think that is shop stuff then, and we have gone through our little condensed version of patch notes. There is also the event calendar here if you want a visual, but I don't tend to love these calendars because they're like stacked weird. And I'm a visual person, but if the visual is weird, I get confused. So we're gonna go through all this now. How did I get 480 clear drops? Was there looks like there was extra maintenance drops. Okay. We're actually have quite a bit of drops. I didn't realize that. Probably because I was saving to pull for Noir. Oh, I just realized I totally missed getting Liang Yue, and I did pulls on her banner. Damn. Well, anyways, this Melania garment is beautiful. Love her. Let me get my login. I'm like so out of it because I took such an extended break, but it was for good reason. It's like, it was totally for good reason. So, okay, so we went through all that, but there is going to be stuff in the, not my warehouse, the bank. We have to go to the bank. Oh, weekly tribute. When did that get added? Is that a quality of life thing I didn't know about? Could be. Miracle Mart, that's what we want to take a look at. So in the Miracle Mart this time around, we don't have as much stuff in here, but we might later on. So Notes of the Fool is the new scrapbook theme. This has Aleph on it, I think. I'm pretty sure. It's like the theme of that. It's cool. I'm not gonna buy it, but I think it's a cool one. We also have a new portrait, the Die of Babylon. This is from New Wonders. And then also in the shop this time around is gonna be the Alpha for Bjorkenbloom. Yeah, I already own it. So this is the one I grabbed a couple patches ago. I think it was one of the anniversary patches. You could get a free garment for a character of your choice, and I picked her. Then in Revisited, there's free tickets. So make sure to grab those old tickets. And then apart from that, we have the Eagle Garment Sixth Sense. This one's in there. We have the Creature from Green Lake Portrait. There's an Exquisite Insight Casket, a Delicate Insight Casket, and a Fine Insight Casket. So that's what we have in Revisited right now. And I believe that's just for this I don't know when this resets. I think it's like, I don't remember if it's daily or like weekly or for the whole patch. I think it's for the whole patch. So I don't really use Eagle, so I will skip that. And I don't really see the point of grabbing portraits, so I probably won't get that, but it is what it is. But yeah, nothing too crazy in Miracle Mart this time around. It is a little bit more chill. So there is that. Let me grab my monthly unilogs while we're here. Because we're here, we might as well. I need to replenish those. I'm like running low on I have like not enough to get my next month's unilogs. I think we can switch over to the other side of the screen again. I forgot I was on the left side for a while because I was doing all the recap stuff. Okay, we're so back. Let us go take a look at RECOLETA. It's RECOLETA time! 20 minutes in. Don't look at my standard banners. One day we'll do standards, but not today. So we have Miss RECOLETA. Also, Yearning of the Water is up and Ripples of the Water. Also, this banner will be done by the time this video goes up, but the Semmelweis is still here. First, we're gonna start with Miss RECOLETA. So we have to go through her kit. She is a DPS burst damage specifically, which seems to make sense in my head. It seems like they list her as a DPS, but I was reading it more as like a burst sub DPS, so this makes sense to me. But we're gonna go through everything. So her ultimate then is called Maze of Visceral Realism. We kind of looked over these very briefly in the content catch-up, so we're gonna actually dig into them now. This ultimate is a mass attack that deals 450% reality damage to all enemies and an additional 450% reality damage to the main target. That is definitely burst. That sounds insane, and I know those percentages are gonna go up as you level her and get portraits if you want to get portraits. Portrait section of this video, the pay-to-play section, is gonna go crazy. She also consumes all stacks of monomythic narrative and ensemble narrative on self to deal additional reality damage. So what is monomythic narrative? It's going to be a special buff, I'm assuming, that when casting an ultimate, consume all stacks of this status. Okay, it's a stack. With each consumed stack dealing an additional 50% reality damage to the main target, and you can get up to 20 of those. I do wonder if portrait levels will extend that. Ensemble narrative then is the same sort of deal that when casting an ultimate, you consume all stacks of this status. I'm curious how you gain those stacks. With each consumed stack dealing an additional 25% reality damage to all targets that also stacks up to 20 times. So this is 25% reality damage, and this one is 50% reality damage. So it seems like the monomythic narrative stacks are better than the ensemble narrative. So I think. I'm not sure what the difference is, you know? So when casting this ultimate, you consume all Moxie on RECOLETA, and for each additional Moxie consumed, grant ultimate might plus 3% to this attack, and Moxie plus 1 to another ally with the lowest current Moxie. So it seems like you're probably going to want to use her with other characters that really utilize Moxie as a mechanic. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know they exist. If at least 5 additional Moxie are consumed, the bonus ultimate might granted to this attack is doubled. I don't want to call this rocket science, but there's some math it feels like going into this. Interesting. Okay, so how do we get these stacks? We're starting with her debuff skill, which is Metaphysical Conceit. At Incantation level 1, this is a single target attack that deals 100% reality damage, and after attacking, inflicts 2 stacks of Passion Drain on the target. So Passion Drain is a negative status effect that after being attacked, the attacker gains +1 Moxie, and then -1 stack after trigger. I'm not sure what that specifically phrasing means, but the +1 Moxie, we're gaining Moxie. At Incantation 2 then, this seems very basic. I'm happy that her debuff is basic considering her ultimate felt like rocket science a little bit. So at Incantation level 2, it's still a single target attack. You still have 2 stacks of Passion Drain, but instead of 100% reality damage, it's 150. And then at Incantation 3, it goes up to 250%, everything else staying the same. I will say this one, I think you could run this at Incantation 1, no problem, even though it goes up quite a bit to 3. Like, I don't think it's like absolutely top priority. You must get it to 3 to do damage. Like, you'll get damage regardless, it's just not as much. So I don't think it's like, don't sweat and prioritize Metaphysical Conceit, it feels like getting the stacks on it. Because you're gonna get 2 stacks of Passion Drain and get the Moxie regardless of what Incantation levels it's at. So if you want to just like stack her Moxie, just play it. You really don't gotta worry about getting Incantation upgrades on it. Like, it's not that serious with this one. Just play it. It doesn't need to stack. Unless you're really focused on making Recoleta a main DPS, she's not supposed to be though. She's a sub burst damage DPS. So really, this is more of a setup skill than anything else. But it does some damage, so it's like a win-win, I guess. Her attack incantation then is called Literary Imagery. And there's, oh, this is where we get the stacks. All right, cool. Literary Imagery at incantation level 1 is a mass attack that deals 120% reality damage to 2 enemies. All right, we love to see that. We love multiple enemies. If there's only one enemy target, grant 5 stacks of monomythic narrative. Okay, mono, because there's only one, that makes sense. So if you're fighting a boss or something, and that goes to self. Otherwise, grant 5 stacks of ensemble narrative to self. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, actually, how they're doing that, because you have the monomythic and the ensemble. So the monomythic is if you only are fighting one thing like a boss, and then ensemble is if you have a bunch of little guys. You could also hypothetically get the monomythic narrative stacks if you took out everyone else and there's just one little guy left. So like, I thought this was going to be much more complicated to understand, but no, it's pretty good, actually. I would say this is pretty good to understand. The ultimate is still a lot, but once you start to kind of get the narrative stacks, like understand that part, it feels easier. So that's at Incantation 1. At Incantation 2, it's 180% reality damage to 2 enemies, and everything else is the same. At 3 then, it's 300% reality damage to 2 enemies. Because this is your attack skill, this is the one I would worry the most about upgrading, because these stacks here, like I guess with both, they stay the same. So if you don't care as much about the damage Recoleta is doing, then I don't think you have to even worry about stacking and getting incantation levels on these cards at all. Quite frankly, you can just run them at Incantation 1, which might be a really good like safety strat on a hard boss if you like just need to get damage out. Or honestly, probably the opposite, because you're really just setting her up. You're setting up the burst on her ult for the most part, but she also does a little bit of damage. So I don't think you really have to worry about stacking these, but if I was gonna stack any of them, it would be Literary Imagery because that's the one that does more damage. I think that's where I stand with that, but honestly, her kit seems pretty foolproof because you really don't have to stack these cards if you're not running her as your main DPS, which I don't think you should run her as a main DPS. She's like a sub DPS. Literally says burst damage right here. So even though she's listed as a DPS, wouldn't consider her a main DPS. You could make her a main DPS, by all means, intents and purposes, you do you, but I wouldn't recommend it, which makes her, it feels like it makes her easier to run, quite frankly. If we go over to her inheritance, though, we're going to take a look at the insight stuff now real quickly. Maybe not, because there's not a ton of text. Okay, so at insight 1, you get +2 on the max Moxie, and the Moxie required to gain ultimates is still 5, so you just get like a little buffer there. After another ally casts an ultimate, Recoleta gains Moxie +1, and for each point of Moxie consumed by that one target or mass ultimate, I'm assuming that one target or mass ultimate, okay, so probably allies, right? Yes. Recoleta gains 1 stack of either monomythic or ensemble near. Okay, that's consumed by the single target would be monomythic and mass ultimate would be the ensemble. Okay, they just worded that a little bit funky, but yeah. At Insight 2 then, you get a 15% crit damage buff when entering battle. And at Insight 3, you get another 3 max Moxie. So when entering battle, you gain Moxie +3 and 1 stack of preparation for Recoleta. Does this stack? I'm pretty sure it does. So max Moxie goes up +5. And you also get, does that mean? No, because with Insight 1, you don't start with any Moxie, but at Insight 3, you get +3 Moxie when entering battle, but also it goes up by 3. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay. Preparation then is a special buff, I'm assuming, at the start of the next round to generate a precast incantation, Flood of Fiction. So I'm going to read all these. My box is covering some of it, but we're not moving. A precast incantation is regarded as an incantation of the same name. We've seen these before. At the end of the round, all unused precast incantations are removed. Okay. I actually don't know if I even knew that. Oh my god. I'm not a meta player. I just pretend to be. Flood of Fiction then makes the ally with the highest Moxie consume all their current Moxie to cast an ultimate, then recover the consumed Moxie. So it seems like this precast can basically force an ult, essentially, and then you get the Moxie back. Damn, okay. This ultimate does not count as an extra action, and the recovered Moxie cannot exceed the Moxie required to cast the ultimate. Okay, so it's not an extra action team comp. They're making that very clear. They're like, we've given you a lot of extra action team comps and characters recently. This is not that. Bestie, it's not that. Okay. After casting an ult then, for every 10 stacks of whichever narrative you have consumed, you gain 1 stack of preparation with a maximum of 1 stack can be gained in this way. That's wild. Her Insight 3 is kind of insane, which is like, that's the point of building the characters, to get them to Insight 3, but like, wow. I'm losing my voice, by the way, which is bad because I have to do something like a collaboration thing later, but it's fine. I think Recoleta has a good kit, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I'm gonna pull, we'll see when we get to the survey, but I do think her kit's really good. So we are gonna take a quick detour now over to the pay-to-play section. We do these in all, like when we take a look at a character kit, the pay-to-play section is exactly what it sounds like. It is entirely possible to to get 1, maybe even 2 copies of a character without having to spend money in a gacha game. However, if you want anything more than that, it's gonna start getting dicey, and you're probably gonna have to pull out the credit card. So this is the pay to play section. Only pay attention to this if you have the disposable income to do so. Spend responsibly. It's rough out there right now. But as somebody who is generally free to play, I'm now going to go through all the portraits and say if I think they're worth it or not, because my opinion totally matters. It's only a half of a joke. Okay, so everything we just went over is going to be RECOLETA at portrait level 0. That is 1 copy of the character, totally easily able to get, especially because they go to standard in a while. It's okay. So the next level is level 1. That is going to be 2 copies of RECOLETA, and that is a buff for spontaneous writing, which is going to be her insight levels and things like that. This is her passive stuff. So when casting an ultimate, the maximum stack limit of preparation is increased to 2, so that coincides with insight 3. I'm curious what the max stack of preparation is. Does it say that anywhere? I'm assuming it's 1 because they say it's increased to 2 here, so you can basically hold on to 2 of those. So I don't know if I would consider that a means to an end. What I mean by a means to an end is that you're not pulling extra copies of the character to get this buff, but there's a better buff down the road that will get you there. I don't know if I would consider it a means to an end, but it also doesn't totally feel entirely necessary, especially if you're not like super in on meta. Like I feel like if you're super in on meta and like endgame, you probably do want this stack increase, but if you're not and you're just playing for vibes, I don't think it's necessary. Quite frankly, if you're playing for vibes, you might not need any portraits, because I play for vibes mostly. Maybe my tune will change once we get caught up with the story, and I might really like meta and really want to go in, but not there yet. That's portrait level 1 though. I don't think it's horrible, but I don't know if I fully recommend it. It's going to really depend on if there's a really good one down the line here, so we'll see. At portrait level 2, that is going to be 3 copies of RECOLETA, is a buff for Maze of Visceral Realism, which is her ultimate skill, and the additional reality damage dealt by consuming either narrative buff is increased to 70% or 35%. So that 70 is going to coincide with monomythic narrative, and ensemble is going to coincide with 35. So it seems almost like she does more damage with a single target opponent. So maybe keep that in mind. But if she is burst damage, that makes enough sense. So I'm curious what the, okay. So with monomythic narrative, it goes from 50 to 70, and then with ensemble, it goes from 25 to 35. So the buff is mainly for monomythic narrative. I'm curious how she's recommended to play, because it seems like it's more recommended to use her on like big bad bosses sort of thing. But again, with level 2, I don't think it's totally unnecessary, but I also don't know if it's totally necessary, especially considering I look at her more of like, I don't look at her as a main DPS, but if you want to run her as a main DPS, maybe this is something you want. Again, though, I wouldn't recommend, if you want to run RECOLETA as a main DPS, I wouldn't recommend doing that right now. I would not recommend making that decision during this patch. RECOLETA is a character that would be going to standard, I believe, in 2.9. So I would say pull, like, so far, I'm at a point of her with, like, pull 1 copy, and if you love her and really want to make her your main DPS, get the copies later on. She will be rerun, and she will be going to standard. So I don't know if it's totally, like, if it's a great financial decision to go all in right now so far. But I tend to say that. So far, I would recommend pulling a single copy, but if you decide during this patch, the first half of the patch, that you really want to run her as a main DPS, maybe grab them, but I honestly think you could probably wait. Going on to level 3 then, this is going to be 4 copies of the character, is another buff for Maze of Visceral Realism, so the reality damage dealt is increased to 550% across the board. So yes, I don't know why they had to do it twice, but you'll deal basically an extra 550% reality damage to all enemies, and then an additional 550 to the main target, so yeah. Again, I feel the same way about level 3 that I do about 2, but maybe even less so. I don't know. I'm like in a weird spot where this is another one of those characters where I'm not sure if you really even need her portraits, but I do think that if I feel that way about portraits on a character, I think that means it's a well-balanced and it's like the kit's good if I think you don't need the portraits. Because that means that that's a balanced character. Like they can do fine without all these extra little buffs, which I think is for the best. Moving on to portrait level 4, that is going to be 5 copies of RECOLETA, is a buff for literary imagery, which is her attack incantation. And at incantation rank 1, 2, or 3, the reality damage dealt is increased to 150% for 1, 225% for 2, and 375% for 3. So originally they are there, so it's going up quite a bit, but not like a crazy amount. The stacks of whichever narrative granted to self are also increased to 10, I believe, from 5. Yes, so it doubles that. So I do think portrait level 4 is a good one. And if you really, really like RECOLETA, I would possibly on a rerun recommend going to 4. But I don't think it's entirely necessary if you're not like super hardcore in on meta. And also I feel like we've been getting a lot of really good characters as time goes on. So maybe you want to rethink going all in on RECOLETA for other characters. You know, like that's kind of where I'm at. Like if you are like #1 RECOLETA stan, you do you. But I don't know if the average player, like the average player doesn't need all of this. So there's that as well. But I think she can work just fine at Portrait 0, quite frankly. But level 5 then is another buff for Maze of Visceral Realism, where the reality damage dealt is increased to 650% across the board from that 550% you would get at level 3, or the original, I think it's like, what is it, 450 at 0. Each additional Moxie consumed, the ultimate might bonus is increased to 6%. I do think her 4 and 5 are like decent enough. However, I don't like, this is basically turning her into more of a DPS, and I don't know if I would want to run her as a DPS. So I don't know if it's necessary for that reasoning. I don't think you need her portraits. It's like the final end all be all. If you love her, maybe get them later, but I don't think it's, for the average player, it's not necessary to get like any of her portraits, I don't think. Especially because the early ones, really they feel kind of lackluster. But I will say recently portraits and stuff, I can't say for Noir because we never did a kit review. I can't say for that, but recently I feel like the portraits have been a little bit lackluster, but I prefer that, quite frankly, because then that means it's like more free to play friendly. Like you don't need to pull for portraits. You can play the game just fine at P0 and be on your merry way. And that means the character kit is balanced and well made and not relying heavily on a cash grab. So I do think it's fine that the portraits are like kind of mid feeling to me, because that means you don't need it. Like you can just get her like a I don't think she has a garment right now. But like, go spend on another band. Go Willow or something. Like, that's RECOLETA's kit. Let's go do the survey. All right, we're back. We had to move again. Hi, Gutian. This is not the time. Now we can open up this fun page. We're not going to go through this again because we already did in the content catch-up. So if you're curious how I reacted to that, it's in the content catch-up. So, oh wait, the music's fun. There's our series of dusks. It wants to throw me into that for some reason. We have RECOLETA's character story, and this is where we're going to do her survey. That's very, oh my gosh, Hall of New Encounters. That's the prison. Oh my god, we're in the Panopticon. This freaks me out. Okay, so the team they put together is RECOLETA, Melania, Charmaine, and Medicine Pocket. Interesting. I believe, I'm assuming that's why Medicine Pocket and Melania got the buffs. And I think buffs being the Euphoria system. And I think Charmaine got one of those before as well. So that's what we're working with. This is the team we got. I say, oh, what do we, it's 1 mineral character, RECOLETA, and then 3 beast characters. So that's interesting. All right, let's give it a shot. So what we do here is we're gonna turn off double speed. How I set this up is I prioritize looking at the new stuff for specifically RECOLETA, and then we're just gonna start running gunning this. So I believe this is her precast. I see Moxie listed, so that's her precast. We're gonna run that, and that does not count in your setup spots here. So I believe this is also RECOLETA's. Yep, monomythic narrative. Also, her debuff I think is here. One turn. Is this metaphysical conceit? Was that her? No, I don't think it was. Who has metaphysical conceit then? Hold on. What are hers? I'm already blanking. Oh no, metaphysical is hers. Okay, so we're gonna run that. We're gonna run her attack. She is speaking. I think it's Spanish. And then we're just gonna run whatever else we have. So we're doing some Charmaine skills, but we're gonna look at hers on single. Wait, that was Melania's precast. I ran the wrong precast. My bad. Oh no, wait, the precast was an immediate ult, so it did Melania's ult. Oh, okay, that's kind of cracked. Okay, that's really cool. It just picked Melania. Okay, interesting. So that was her other thing. We saw her debuffs and stuff then. I missed the debuff animation. You know, I think I like RECOLETA because I like her mechanics. Like it seems fun. Like it's different. Her kit is different, and I love it when a kit is different. I feel like that's where I might be at, which means I kind of want to pull for RECOLETA, but I kind of planned on pulling for RECOLETA. So there is that. There is that. So we have her debuff and attack they came back. I want to run both of them again because I feel like I didn't get a good look at them. So then we have her ultimate, and then we're just gonna start running stuff. So that's her debuff. It does a little bit of damage. Her attack does a little bit more on everyone, and then this is gonna be her ultimate. And she is fully speaking in Spanish. I really like her ultimate animation. Yeah, we've had some lackluster ultimate animations, but I really like hers. I can't explain why, but I do. I think it's just I like her vibe because she's a writer. I do like her vibe for that reason, I think. So I have had my, I've been satisfied with the RECOLETA survey. I really like her. I think her kit is easy to understand, which means we go into double speed and start running this thing down. So this is her precast, yes? Yeah, it's the Flood of Fiction. Yeah, that's hers. So run the precast, and then we're gonna start doing even more ults up in here. And just, this is where I just start picking cards and letting it run through. So Melania is running her ult again because of the precast. I think that precast is really, really cool. I do like it. I feel like it helps quite a bit as well. So I don't hate it. I actually really like it, quite frankly. So I think we're gonna pull for RECOLETA. I don't think anyone's surprised. I don't know what team I'm gonna run with her because I don't have any of these characters. No, I don't have Medicine Pocket. Okay, so we're gonna have to make something work. But if I can just run her with a bunch of beast characters, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We gotta pull for RECOLETA though. I need my little writer girly. This is gonna be fun though. I'm excited. Do I need RECOLETA? Probably not, but I want her. Oh, I forgot, this isn't just auto way through. This is where I just go down the line. I don't care. If I can clear it this way, then that means the character's fine. It's a trial stage. It's not that serious. I'm just gonna let it do its thing though from now. Like, I'm just gonna let the game do its thing. I'm gonna take a water break too. I do feel like, because the team comp is structured around a sub DPS in my opinion. So that just means it's like, it's taking like, it feels like it's taking way longer. Okay, hold on, we can make this work. So those will then combine. Let's actually get some strategy up in here. It feels like I need a little bit of strategy. Just for the sole purpose that the team is structured around a sub DPS, so it just feels like it's taking longer to clear, but that's not a big deal. RECOLETA's ult just went insane, by the way. Yeah, we're pulling for RECOLETA. I'm trying to, oh, who got silenced? Is that Medicine Pocket? Sorry about that, buddy. I got 2 precasts, by the way. That's gonna go insane. This is gonna go insane right here. Oh my gosh, this is wild. Unfortunately, because these Medicine Pocket got silenced, I can't do the actual composition I wanted to here, but we can make something work like that, maybe. So we have 2 different precasts. This is wild. I guess you can have multiple precasts. That feels a little bit nutty and insane, but that's also really cool. Okay, we can even do the precast with RECOLETA. It works on her as well. That feels a little bit wild. That is so fun, actually. Her team compositions are gonna go insane. If you have like multiple precasts, it's just like ult, 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 ult. Yeah, I'm pulling. And it does feel a little bit at random, probably, but oh my god, I have 4 ults sitting here and I'm not even gonna use them. We can do an entire round of just ult skills. This is wild. All right, run it down, guys. All ultimates. Who's gonna take it out? Probably Medicine Pocket, because that's the one I clicked first. And this thing has like 2 health and a dream right now, so it's gone. But now we have to take out the little guys. Unfortunately, the little guys are still here, so it shouldn't take that long. The little guys are like more resilient than the big guy. Like, what in the? All right, 1 more left. Come on, RECOLETA. Take it home, please. There's just 1. I love her. I can't get over her ultimate. Yeah, I want her. I want her on my account. My mind is made up. All right, let's hope that by clicking into her thing so I can get, don't start anything. Don't, oh, thank God. Sometimes when you click in to get your survey stage rewards, it starts the character story. And I don't like to do the character stories in the patch video because it makes the patch video too long and I want to just like do the character story on its own. So it's not that I don't even want to do the character story because I do want to do the character story. There's also some fun stages in hers. Ooh. So it goes, oh, hers is quite long. It goes to 13, but we have these like special stages as well. The rewards then for hers, like the clear drop rewards do end at 13. 11, is it for everything though? So 2, 4, 5, 7. Okay, so you don't get clear drops for these special stages, it looks like. Interesting. That's gonna be very interesting. I love when they switch up the format a little bit for character stories because they can feel very samey. That's gonna be fun. All right, so then we have all the other stuff. So Reveries in the Rain is endgame that I don't have unlocked yet, but all this other stuff will unlock later on. And that is the RECOLETA character trial, her survey. We're gonna pull now. I get rewards for clearing that. And we'll get the rewards for doing her stage eventually as well, because I feel like I have said before that I'm going to make concessions for certain events in certain games, and because I'm obsessed with this version, we're probably going to make some concessions for that. So we go summon. We're going to go to the banner here, and here's the deal. If I get RECOLETA early, I am going to switch over to pull for Willow. So I also didn't think about the fact that RECOLETA is mineral, and I feel like mineral is the element I'm kind of missing a good like variety of on my account right now. Like it was plant for a while, but then I got some really good plant characters. Star and mineral I feel like are the ones I'm really looking for, because Star, I'll like pop open both of these. When it comes to 6-star characters, I have 1 star, which is kind of why I pulled for Barcarola. Also, I just think she's cute. But then Semmelweis and New Babel, I don't like. New New Babel can kind of be main DPSy or just DPSy in general, but otherwise, like I feel like I need more like characters in Star and Mineral that are of like a high level, because I have a lot of 5 stars, but not 6 stars. So I do think it's actually probably worth it for my account to pull for RECOLETA. Also, she's so cute and I love her. So we can just immediately do a 10 pull, and for the purpose of this video and me not losing my voice before the collab I'm doing later, let's do a 10 pull. Whoa, I'm pretty sure that's not 5. I also didn't, okay, yeah, no. So we just got 1. It's not a 6. It's a 5 though. So ba-bum bum, who's it gonna be? It's Plant. All right. It is Diggers. I don't have Diggers. Okay, cool. This is actually my first copy of Diggers. That's pretty worth it, I think. I'll let him finish because I've never gotten him before. Thanks, Diggers. Well, that's a new character for me, so that's actually pretty cool. All right, welcome to the suitcase, Diggers. Did I give opinions? I feel like this is a decent banner. The 5 stars, like banner's decent. Banner's decent. I don't know if I'm even gonna use Diggers, but I have him now, so it's cool. X is my son, so. The Willow Lopera rerun, I feel like with Yearning of the Water, it's worth it if you want the character and didn't get them the first time, or if you do want to like get copies of them. That's kind of the point of that one. So I feel like this is like niche case. We don't need to talk about Summonoids because that's gonna be over. Ripples of the Water, I never do this, but we can select. It's Eternity was the character I couldn't think of. I'm gonna pick Medicine Pocket. Yes. I'm not gonna pull, but I'm gonna pick Medicine Pocket and just keep them there. Maybe we will. There's 24 days left. Because sometimes we get a free box, but I don't think we had a free box this time. So maybe I'll do it, but right now I want to pull for RECOLETA. So like my pull priority this patch, or like this first half of the patch, is gonna be RECOLETA's banner, then Yearning of the Water, and then Ripples on the Water. I think that's my pull priority. So it would be RECOLETA, then it would be Willow, and then it would be Medicine Pocket here, just because I don't have Medicine Pocket. But this one's 24 days, so yeah, I say that, but I probably will end up pulling for Aleph, so the Ripples in the Water is probably gonna fall by the wayside. Anyways, I have a lot of pulls now, but it's because I wasn't pulling a ton before. Like I was saving pulls for Noir and then didn't pull for Noir. So that's kind of where this is coming from and why I have the ability to do some pulls. So I think we can do another 10 pull, but I haven't checked what my pity is at. Barcarola was recent, so also we're gonna have to win a 50-50. So it's 35 that was at. So if we do another one here, that'll still bring us up to 45. And it is gold, but I don't think it's the right gold. It might be. Oh, we got 2 5-stars though. That's pretty cool. So our first 5-star then is going to be X, it looks like. Yep. There is my boy. There's my boy. There he goes. All right. No coincidences, X. All right. And our second one then would be nice if, oh, I think it's X again. Yep, 2 copies of X in that one. All right. All right, well I want to use X more, but I feel like I never do. So this might be a good like starting point for using X more in my account. Because that's the thing, I actually like X a lot. Like I said, he's like my son. Okay, so that was 45. This will bring us up, no, I do singles now. Unless the bank wants to help me out a little bit. It does not. Thank you, bank. So that was 45. This one will be 46 then. And unless it's gold, we will skip that. I'm doing really good on 5 stars today. Unless it's another copy of X, then that's debatable. Oh, this one's off banner. Blondie, I love Blondie. All right, so that was 46. This will be 47 then. And it's the white gold, it's Pioneer. 48, I'm not like I'm having a, oh my God, I'm doing really well today. 48 is going to be another 5-star. So I kind of want another off banner, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, it's X again. Am I gonna max out my X today? That would be quite interesting because I feel like I don't have a 5-star maxed. That would be kind of fun actually. I think this one's 49. 49. But I've been doing really good with 5 stars. Onion is 49. And then do I want to use my crystal drops? I think I want to save the crystal drops. So that's all we have for now. Like I want to save my crystal drops to use on a garment at some point because I will buy another garment in this game. That's not a question. Question is not if, it's when. So now we get to see our spoils here. I think I have some portraits I never unlocked before as well, like Necrologist and Charlie have just kind of been chilling here. So we have a portrait on Blondie. So she's P1 now. And then with Necrologist, I have another portrait to her. So I get a damage dealt buff on her. Charlie, they get P1 as well. Standing alone on the stage, it's another mental damage buff. And then X, oh X, you have 3 portraits on you. So we're getting a buff on minimalism and maximalism. That is going to deal 300% reality damage now. 2 is another incantation buff. And then 3 is going to be that reality damage again. So I have a lot of portraits on X, and he might be my 5-star with the most portraits now. Oh, Mr. Duncan. Mr. Duncan's here. Okay. It's Mr. Duncan, Balloon Party has the most. Okay. Wild. We got to start using X, I guess. That's not what I expected to come out of this. I think that's everything, though. I think that is the patch, because I'm not doing the pulls. Wait, can I take a look at garments really quickly? Just because I don't think I did a garment check. So this is the new ones. I think it's just those 2 in the shop, because the last patch had a bunch in the shop for the sole purpose of the fact that it was an anniversary patch. But yeah, we only have the Willow and Lopera ones this time around, so it's nothing too crazy. At least I don't think it's anything too crazy. Yep, I think that's just about it. We just got a lot of rewards last time that we didn't get this time, and the shops were like crazy. So yeah, that's it. We have nothing else to take a look at today. Even though I didn't get RECOLETA, I still think we were pretty successful on pulls. So I probably will continue to pull, but we'll see if I do that on or off camera. I'll have to figure that out. But that was the patch. Wow. Let's go take a look at the RECOLETA art. I do this all the time. If I don't get the character, I just pop open the art here to finish the video because they're pretty and I would like to look at them. So that is going to be it for this video. I don't know if like RECOLETA will come home, but honestly, truly, as much as I love her kit and her ult and everything about her, I don't think it's the end of the world if she doesn't come home for me. Like she does go to standard. So like, I'm not concerned, you know? This was a totally fine, totally chill, normal patch video. So if you like this video, make sure to give me a like down below, as well as subscribe for more and click the little notification bell to be notified when I upload new ones. Let me know in the comments how your RECOLETA polls went. Did you get her to come home? Do you even want her? I think you should. She is precious. We must protect her. And she's girl bossing and she's a writer and I love her. There's that. As always, I hope everyone is having a super lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys!